Hi, my name is Ellie. I am one half of Two Souls, and today I'm here to tell you all about the Sligo Way. So the Sligo Way is a linear trail that we walked from Dromahair to Lough Talt. At around 80 kilometres, it was the 10th trail that we walked when walking all 42 of Ireland's national Waymarked trails. It took us about 4 days to complete. We started this trail on the same day that we entered the Cavan Way, making a short start into the trail that evening and camping in the forest. Day 2 took us from our forest campsite to Coolaney. Day 3 we walked from Coolaney to a farm in the Ox Mountains that let us camp in their field. And day 4 we finished the trail from that farm to Lough Talt. I remember this trail pretty much in two halves, Dromahair to Coolaney and Coolaney to Lough Talt. After camping in the forest that first night, day 2 consisted of a constant low-level drizzle as we wandered along the banks of Lough Gill. The first section was truly gorgeous, even in the light rain. Sadly, there had been a wildfire in that area that had burnt away much of the boardwalk through this lakeside forest of Sligo woods. However, when we were there, it was really soon after the forest fires and they had already been rebuilding the trail, so by now it should be back to its amazing glory that it once was. We walked through foothills of Sligo and past Loch Lomond before descending down to Union Woods and Collooney. The walk from Sligo Woods down to Union Woods would make a wonderful day hike if you're ever in the area. The next day we started the second half and the major empty section of this trail. There's over 40 kilometres with no towns. The rain continued and the wild landscapes of Sligo became desolate, windy and empty. It was beautiful, but there were a lot of long, straight road sections. As we slowly walked these roads and climbed over the small hills within the Ox Mountains, we were forever climbing slightly upwards. Cresting Lady's Brae was pretty incredible. It was the first view we'd had of the sea in a very long time. From that crest we could look out across the bay and see Donegal and the mountains that waited for us there. I remember when we reached Lough Easky, I was nearly blown away as we tried to cook some pasta at a stone picnic bench. The end of the trail almost left us at Lough Talt. In researching this trail before we did it, its endpoint was listed as Lough Talt. However, the trail actually ends in a car park on the side of a fairly major regional road. We could see the lake as we ascended the mountainside, but the trail never brought us there. We were pretty exhausted for our whole time on this trail, and the bad weather didn't really help us find any particular love for it. Once we reached the information board that marked the end of the trail, we were so exhausted that we just sat there for a while in the sunny wind and eventually called for a lift into Ballina. As the car moved off, less than 5 minutes down the road, we briefly saw a sign for a different trail at a forest entrance that might have actually brought us down to the lakeshore. Unfortunately, at the information board at the end of the trail, it hadn't mentioned this at all. To get to Dromahair, Bus Eireann have a number of buses, particularly ones from Sligo, include the 462, the 469 and the 470. These will be linked below. To get from Lough Talt, our endpoint again, there isn't any public transport, but you can get a lift into Ballina, which is a large enough town so it has a lot of accommodation, food and transport options. The first half of this trail passes through both Collooney and Collooney. They sound very similar, but they're two different places, and they provide some shopping options and accommodation options. Again, the second half of this trail is very, very empty and would require you either finding and pre-booking accommodation options that will come and collect you from different points of the trail, or camping along the way and asking farm owners for permission to camp in their land. It's incredibly important to respect landowners who let the trail go through their land and always follow leave no trace principles when hiking in Ireland. The terrain of this trail varies a lot, and depending on your comfort or experience, you can probably do this trail in either trail runners or hiking boots, whichever is better for you. As with all trails in Ireland, we recommend bringing waterproof clothing, as the weather here is very, very changeable and often very, very wet. For any more information on all I've just said, please check out the description. I'll have links to public transport, to our full blog post, our full video, and any other relevant information that I find. These videos are made possible by the people who support us on Patreon, and through their support we've been able to make these, so a huge thank you to Pork Berry, to Michael Anthony and to Eireann. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much, and thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon, and I'll see you in the next video.